Hi Andre, welcome to Mumbai, a city of 22 million people. That's what? More than half of what the entire population of Canada is?
Yeah, I think we're at 35 to 40 million, yeah.
Yeah, so you're pretty much there. So you have 22 million people looking at the heartbeat of the Mumbai, which is the Tata Mumbai Marathon, and you are that heartbeat. So how does it feel to be here, soaking in the city, the event?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing. I came here yesterday. First of all, my hotel is amazing. It has a great view of Marine Drive. And yesterday I got a chance to go off to the gateway, I believe,
Gateway of India.
Yeah, Gateway of India. So I'm starting to see the city, and it's a lot going on. I feel like every day there's like so much traffic. Everyone is like going somewhere or rushing to go somewhere. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of like kind of New York City a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's been fun. I've been enjoying it, and it's my first time here in India, so I'm excited to be here.
I was listening to some podcast or an interview of yours where you actually compared yourself. You said you went through all the runners historically, and you felt you look like and you possibly run like Frankie Frederick.
Yeah.
The first question is, what did you see there? And two is, what really made you go down that rabbit hole of wanting to know that?
Yeah, I remember, so I was watching film of the 1996 Olympics when Donovan Bailey had won the 100 meters for Canada. I think someone had told me like, you run a little bit like this guy right here who came, I think he came third, yeah. He came third in he came second in the 100, and he came third in the 200, I believe, or something like that. And they're like, you kind of run like him, and then you both have like similar body structure, and you both can run the 100 meters, you both can run the 200 meters. So I was trying to compare myself, trying to find someone in the sport to like kind of similar to that aspect, and he stood out to me a little bit. And yeah, I just liked his running. I liked the way he ran. He had good form, and I heard he's a nice guy. So I never actually met him in person yet, but yeah, people just tell me I run a little bit like him, and I saw it on video and on YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's true.
So my next question is what I call the borrowed spikes perspective. So when you got spotted from the basketball court saying that, hey, you could be a sprinter, you didn't have your own spikes. You borrowed the spikes, you were in your basketball shorts, and Tony Sharp said you should start running.
Yeah.
Today you have access to the best biomechanical gear, you have data, you have pretty much all the technical noise, if you may. So are there moments where you want to go to that borrowed spikes place and say, hey, is there anything you want to borrow from that time?
Yeah, I mean, it was a different time. I mean, being a young kid, I was about 16, 17 years old. Now it's like 14 years later, I'm 31 now. So much time has evolved, so much technology has gone into place with the spikes, the track. But yeah, I feel like, sometimes you want to feel like a kid again, and you want to just go back and say, your coach always used to say, don't make things complicated, just remember, what you used to do, remember how you used to run, and don't overthink it. So I kind of think of it in that way where like, yeah, even though stuff has evolved and we've run faster, but always think of that little kid in myself and just go out there and run as fast as you can.
It's true. Also, which brings me to the next question. Most sprinters and athletes decide to specialize in their field about what they want to run by, like, let's say 12, 13. You were a late starter, and I'm sure you benefited from it, and that's probably the secret of your longevity and your stature of performance. So what's your advice to upcoming athletes and coaches when it comes to age and specialization?
Yeah, I feel like when you're young, I know it's difficult in some sports where you have to start at an early age. I know like the sports like tennis, I
remember gymnastics.
Yeah, gymnastics. Like those are the sports like you have to like start at a young age, and it's hard to start that late because it's so much stuff you have to learn. But I feel like a sport like track and field athletics, you can start that at any age because every sport you have to learn how to run, right? You have to run to be able to shoot the ball, to kick the ball, to throw the ball, so any sport. So I don't think it matters as much as in athletics to be able to have to learn how to run at an early age. So for me, I mean, I feel like any sport I did, when I did football, when I did basketball, I've always had to run in some capacity. Like even now when I do my drills, we do some of the similar drills that I used to do when I was playing playing soccer. You know, all the high knees and ace skip and stretch. You know, you have to stretch in every single sport. So all those things matter. So I don't think. I always try to tell kids at a young age for those type of sports. I mean, just try different things. You know, see what you like. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to do one sport. You know, a lot of my friends, a lot of people I grew up with, they played different sports, and then as you get older and you want to be more serious, then okay, now you choose one sport that you want to be high class in, like whether you want to go off to college or university or try to do it at a professional level. That's when you try to do that. So I think for me, like, I had to get serious, like I would say at about the age of 17, around there. That's when I was like, okay, if I want to be good in athletics, I got to now start to take it more seriously than before.
So Andre, I wanted to ask you about your arm action paradox.
Yeah.
So you have a very unique arm carriage, which a lot of purists say is not ideal for a sprinter. But you've stuck with it and you performed at the highest level. It's worked out for you, but might not be the same for everyone. So for those people who have their own natural style of running or doing any other sport, what's your advice to them when it comes to dealing with their own natural tendencies and to be able to compete at the highest level?
Yeah, I mean, we're all different. You know, we all run different. I mean, each of us that step on the line, we all have different forms, different techniques. But the hope is that obviously you want to get better every single day and try to perfect that technique and try to get better at it, and try not to make mistakes. I always say to people, like, as long as you're not getting injured or it's not affecting your performances, then it's not a big deal. But when it starts to affect your performance and you start to have injuries, then you're like, okay, maybe I should do something different. So for me, I mean, I remember, I had a straight arm in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
I did very well, but then the following year I got hurt, and my coach was like, maybe we should try to, better your technique because maybe that's causing a little bit of injuries and things like that. So, now I try to like be a little bit better and try to clean that up, and I've gotten faster from it, so it's worked out. But I think when you're younger, it's not as important, Like I think when you get maybe later on when you're a professional and you're trying to like compete for like little bit of seconds and tenths of a second, then you can get important. But when you're a kid, you just enjoy it. You just have fun, and sometimes it brings the best out of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're referred to as the championship performer. You raise your game at the big events, the finals. You've been a great performer. Is there some kind of a specific cue or a sensory cue, like let's say a breath, a sound, or a visual, or something that you use to really prepare yourself to get into the zone before a race?
Yeah, I mean, before my race, I like to listen to a lot of music, so that kind of calms me down. So I listen to some music in my headphones to relax, a little bit of meditation. I get on the table, maybe 2 hours before the race, get my body checked from my doctor and from my physiotherapist and my massage person. Make sure that my body is moving and I feel pretty good before the race. So that's kind of the things I like to do before the race. And then I just kind of get into my zone. Especially in music, like I said, music gets me into the zone. It gets me pumped up. It gets me ready to go out there and compete to my best. And also the most important thing I always tell people is like, even before the race, before even the race starts, even like the day before, you have to get a good night's sleep and make sure you have a good meal, because those are the two important things. If you don't have a good meal and you don't get enough sleep, then your performance is not going to be great. So all those things matter to me, and once I do that, I feel good, I feel in the zone, and I feel ready to go. So I talk to my coach right before the race. He gives me a little advice, give me a little pep talk, say, hey, this is what we're going to do before the race. And we take it one round at a time. I don't even think about, a lot of people, they say, oh, like, what are you going to do in the finals but I don't even think about the finals. I think about the heats, and then after I get through the heats, I think about the semifinals, and then I think about the finals.
Fabulous. So, especially in the 100 meters, let's say, there is zero time to fix a mistake.
Yeah.
And very often when you have a slight stumble or let's say a bad start, what's your mental reset model in sense that to save that 1/10 of a second that you actually lost to save the next 9 seconds?
Yeah, you try not to think about it. I mean, it's very important to have short-term memory as a sprinter. You know, you might have a bad race, bad starts. You don't think about it. You know, you go back and look at the race and see, okay, yes, this is what I did wrong and I want to be better, but don't try to think about it too much, because if you overthink and you start thinking about, oh, I did this wrong, did that wrong, then you know, the next 9 seconds of the race, it's gonna go bad too. So once you come out the blocks, if it's not a good start or you stumbled, you know, just try to get back into the race and focus on the next, you know, 80 meters, 70 meters, and go from there. And usually after that, your coach will kind of help you do a good job of saying, hey, you know, hey Andre, or you know, hey guys, you know, you did this a little bit wrong. Let's try to do this a little bit better. But and then we kind of practice that, and that's what we practice every single day, because you have to have the consistency to be able to do it at the track meet. You know, like a lot of people think that, oh, you could just do it on that day. No, it starts in practice. It starts, you know, I train 5 days a week, and I train 3-4 hours a day, and you have to practice that every single time for the consistency.
Think like a goldfish.
Yes, yes, that's a good one.
So,
Yeah.
so you finished your sociology degree,
Yeah.
and while being a top sports star, you know,
Yeah.
traveling the globe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do you think studying human psychology and behavior has changed your view of how you look at your rivals before, during, after a race and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and also most importantly manage the pressure of a stadium atmosphere?
Yeah.
So how do you think has it helped you depersonalize the competition and the rest of the noise that happens around you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's probably played a role. I didn't even realize it, because, you know, when you're studying sociology, you're learning about, you know, human behavior and the mental battle and the mental struggles of humans. So even when I took my classes of like sociology and psychology, all that's, you know, I didn't even realize at that moment that it helps in sports as well. So I mean, for me personally, I always think about, like, in sport, like, yes, everybody has the physical talent to do something special, but when you get on the line, it's really about who's mentally prepared. That's the one who's going to be able to, you know, be the best and win the races, because everybody's fast. You know, like in my sport, all 8 lanes, we all can run around the same time. You know, we all can run a personal best, but it's who can hold their mental and their head together. So yeah, I think a lot of that life lessons really helped me as I went to school and I graduated for that. So I can say that, you know, when I go on the line, you know, I'm thinking about just my race, just me on the line. I'm not thinking about this person next to me or that person next to me. I'm just focusing on my race, focusing on myself, and thinking about all the hard work I've done up to that race, so that when I go to the race, I am ready and I'm prepared and I feel good about it. So yeah.
So last thing, you know, we've had October when we had Carl Lewis in India with us.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
We had Kenny Benarek
Yeah.
in December,
Yeah.
and now we
Nice.
have you in January. So this has been the holy trinity, as far as we are concerned, of the legends of running who's been
Yeah.
here. So one last thing is, there'll be among the 65,000 people who are going to run in Mumbai on Sunday, many of them are running for the first time.
Yeah.
So they've got their nerves. What's your message to them and the people who are looking at soaking in the atmosphere, being here?
Yeah.
What's your message to them after seeing what is around?
My message is the same message that my first coach gave me when I ran my first race. He's like, Andre, go out there and have fun. You know, remember what got you here. Remember, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be here. Like, especially if you're in a country for the first time, you got a chance to come race here. They invited you to come. Just have fun, enjoy the moment, embrace it, and just go have fun and go hard. Like, work hard. Remember all the work. Like I said, remember all the work that took you to get here. You know, you did all those practices. You did all the stuff that helped you get here to run fast. And just go out there and let the crowd take you. You know, the crowd is going to be cheering you on. You know, your country's going to be cheering you on. Your family, your friends. So just have fun and do it for them.
Just one last thing. You've been here. You've seen what Tata Mumbai Marathon is. You've seen a bit of the city. I'm sure there's a lot more to see.
Yeah.
What's been your impression when it comes to Procam and the rest of the sponsors? How do you feel they have looked at and managed put up this event? What's your thoughts?
It's been amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing it on Sunday for the first time. You know, I never actually been to a marathon of this caliber. So to be here, to meet all these, people, and they're so friendly and they're so nice and they're just happy to have me here, I'm excited. It's been fun so far. I've only been here for 24 hours, but I really feel the love. The fans, when I went to see the gateway of India, a lot of fans were coming up to me. So I met them at the media center as well, and everyone's just happy for me to be here. So I'm happy, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to just seeing some good running because I've only been to the New York Marathon and Miami Marathon, and I heard that it does not compare to this. This is even bigger and better, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Thanks so much, Andre.
Yeah,
Pleasure
thank you.
meeting you, and see you on race day.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.